Hey guys, welcome to the Backlog Podcast number 50, and today was a big Newsweek podcast. We talked about movies, Tekken 8, and emulation. I hope you enjoy this episode.
I wish I could be as cool as Eris.
Guys, what is going on? Welcome to the Backlog Podcast number 50. I can't believe we've done 50 of these damn things. Here we are. We did it.
That's a whole year, baby.
We can retire now.
It took us 2 years to get there, but we got there.
Well, it was nice meeting you guys. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Peace. Yay.
Bye.
We did
All right. Well, yeah, here we go. Hold on. I got this.
Was this a prank to just have me be the last one on stream? Not feeling it.
We've given the podcast to August.
Hey, this is a politics podcast now. You guys are going to suffer.
Oh, no.
6-hour podcast.
Yeah. Not my brand.
Yeah. Anyway.
So anyway, usually, really quick, guys, usually we kind of start out first like 10 minutes, we kind of bullshit. But later on after that, we're going to get into some Tekken 8 news here. We're going to be talking about, RollBack, Crossplay, or whatever. What's that?
So much Tekken 8.
We got a lot of Tekken 8 stuff. Kind of crazy.
Much. I love it.
But yo, August, how you been, man? What is new with you, dude? How have things been going?
This has been such a stupidly insane, so we haven't done a news podcast in a while, so it's just been accumulating, and now we're getting that release, we're just letting it all out, and it feels great. But I really did want to say, yeah, man, this has been a nutty couple of weeks in terms of just like general news, game news, pop culture news. I'm gonna start with the pop culture news because I think that's fun. But yeah, dude, everything old is new again, bro. Are we back in the 80s? We got a fucking Dungeons and Dragons movie that's doing well. We got a fucking Air Jordan movie that's doing well. I don't even fucking know. DC Comics are failing again. It's crazy.
We got a Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah,
it's true. Yeah.
That's doing well. The critics hate it, but the people love it.
It's doing middle of the road divisive.
Exactly. We take those. But yeah, I mean, it is crazy to see, again, 30-year cycle. Everything from the 80s is definitely coming back in a big way, and it's starting to get halfway decent media adaptations. So that's really cool to see. We'll have to do some movie reviews at some point. We've been a little bit too busy we're a little bit too busy to get them out. But I've heard great things about the Dungeons and Dragons movie. I definitely want to go check that out.
Yeah.
Heard good things about the Mario movie. At least it's enjoyable. Want to go check that out. I hear the voice acting, even for Chris Pratt, is good. Everyone's good, which was the first surprise. It gets better from there. And then if you're an OG and you like the Air Jordans, then I mean you're living. Apparently the movie's hilarious. So that's pretty cool.
Damon.
I did want to talk about Matt Damon. He's back. Jesus Christ, it's Matt Damon. In terms of trailers we got this week, I got a bunch of other cool news. We got the Asuka trailer. The one character I actually wanted to come back in live action is coming back and getting a show, and it probably won't be trash.
Are you sure?
One can only hope.
We got a trailer for Blue Beetle. Where the hell did that come from?
We got a fucking sick trailer for Blue Beetle. Yeah. That's fucking nuts. That it's weird because that trailer was so good. I'm like, was DC just
they're hiding it?
Yeah, were they just hiding their power level the whole time? Were they just jobbing? That was literally one of the best DC movie trailers I've ever seen, and I'm like, why couldn't all of the movies have been this fun?
It looks like it has Shazam 1 kind of energy.
But even more exciting.
They're just having fun.
Yeah. Why do we have to wait till the old DC universe is literally burning around its ears and falling down, and we're about to rebirth a new DC universe to get what could be the best movie or the most fun? But yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen the Blue Beetle trailer, go check that out. It looks fun as fuck. He's even doing fucking Kamen Rider Tokusatsu fucking Buster sword shit at the end, and you're just like, this looks hella fucking hype.
Just memeing around.
Oh yeah, it looks so good. I was
having a ball. I like Blue Beetle, so
I'm
all for it. Let's go.
He was one of the best characters in Young Justice already. yeah, I mean, this just looks great.
He was great
like,
in Brave and the Bold too.
Yeah. George Lopez is like his dad or whatever. It's got the La Familia, but it actually is funny and not ridiculous, like Fast and Furious. Batman gets called a fascist, so already shouts out. That's hilarious. As
Really?
fuck.
Batman's a fascist? Wait, hold on. Wait,
Yeah.
I want to explore this. Wait,
Yeah.
why is Batman a fascist?
That is a longer story that we're not entirely going to go into. Batman, good vigilante, just has some authoritarian tendencies. I mean, if you've seen the alternate reality episodes of Justice League, there are definitely times when Batman's just like, okay, fuck this shit, I'm taking over the world. And he does it successfully because he's Batman. And you're like, but Bruce, at what cost?
He's always got a plan.
Yeah, I know, right? Even if it's like, wow, that's a
World
fucked up plan,
domination,
Bruce. But yeah, I mean, it was the trailer. Like, back to Blue Beetle. Batman aside, this looks really, really good.
Yeah,
and it's like, it makes me even madder because I'm like, is this character even gonna be in the new James Gunn universe? Because like, you can't do
Who knows?
like this.
Will it be good?
If it's good, you can't just do that. Like, what the hell? Like, okay, we're ending the universe, but we left it with one little last enjoyable character.
I mean, I heard Shazam 2 is pretty good, but if you're like, but what's the point? Because the universe is just resetting. So it's nice that we got a couple okay Shazam movies.
Oh my god! And that's what
whatever. It doesn't matter.
That's what kills me about the DC universe. It's just like, even Marvel has some whiffs, but DC has just dropped the bag so many times that they're in this position, man. Like, think about it. Like, all of the DC characters have existed before Marvel. They have a lot grander stories, so much more lore to pull from and tell. And yet, almost in every movie was like a mid to less. Like, they periodically fumbled the bag every time, even when it should have been a guaranteed win. It's insane. Like, it just like the studio just truly not giving a fuck, not giving the source material to people who cared about the source material enough to write it well, or basically giving it to people that were like, well, I'm gonna only listen to my own voice and not the tons of other great creators that have worked on it to make a good story. And then you just get ridiculousness. You get singular visions for the DC universe where everything is grim, dark, and boring, and it doesn't even have like redeemingly cool qualities about, like, the inherent hope of the DC universe and that there are heroes that exist at all. I'm not throwing anyone under the bus specifically, but I think you know who I am throwing under. No, real talk though, like, DC is just like, they've had so many chances, and so many movies that they've even made that have been good. But I think whoever's the head of creative there, they didn't really have a head of creative there, just entirely missed the point, which is why they hired Gunn on to be like, yeah, be our Feige. And it's like, well, I guess someone has to be, but like, why is it like 10 years into this you're figuring this out?
Right.
So yeah, it's a bummer, but yeah, I mean, I'm very excited about Blue Beetle. Very excited about Ahsoka. Somewhat excited about Indiana Jones, but I don't know. What are you guys' opinion on Indy 5? Like, because we got that trailer this week too.
I expect basically nothing from it. It's probably going to be better than Kingdom.
Yeah. The August apparently likes that movie, which judge him.
Idiosyncratist, even though that's not the right way to say the word. I do like Kingdom. I like Kingdom better than I like Temple. I think Temple's a trash movie. I'll say it. But at the same time,
Temple is a trash movie.
Yeah.
Who are you arguing with here?
Yeah,
Temple's fucking garbage.
I think Temple's fine. I think Temple's good.
Temple's racist? Temple's got a shit story? Temple's got boring characters?
Listen to me.
Preach it.
Yeah, but isn't
it? The set piece is boring.
Isn't that the one where they have the chalice, the one where the people drink from?
No,
that's the third one. That's Crusade.
But that's what we're talking about, right?
No, we're talking about Temple of Doom.
Which is the second one?
Emperor's the Kali Ma beating heart one where they go to India and they try not to be racist.
That's two.
They'll fail at that. Yeah, that's two.
Okay.
Yeah, they eat the monkey brain.
I always say it wrong, but it's two.
Yeah, that one's okay.
Chilled monkey brain.
I don't think it's that bad.
Racist. All right.
I don't know. Look, I have to watch it again to be like
Asian child. This isn't racist. This is fine.
Asian child. I can't. You know what? hey, we got everything everywhere all at once out of that.
And why does it have to be snakes?
Yeah. Ki Hui Kwan got his revenge in the end. He got his dub in the end. But yeah, I mean, Temple is objectively a bad movie. I'm sorry, and I think even Kingdom is better. Kingdom is a perfectly enjoyable movie.
I think Kingdom's better than Temple, but the Temple bar is so low that it's not really anything to do.
That's fair. I'll accept that. But I mean, people I feel like a lot of people can't objectively look at the other Indiana movies and see the flaws.
I mean, technically, 5 should be great, right? Because we got 1 that's great, 2 that sucks, 3 that's great, 4 that sucks.
Yeah. Hey man, same loss as climate change, right? It's a cycle. I mean, that's all there is to it, bro.
I honestly think that I personally think that the movie is going to be mediocre. And I think that they're going to go through, I think they're just going to go and repeat and go through the timeline of the other Indiana Jones movies. And they're just going to, I feel like it's just going to be Back to the Future with Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I'm on board. Let's go.
That's the question, is that it depends on what this movie is ultimately a tool for. If this movie is a tool for resetting the Indiana Jones movie, the universe, then it is going to be judged more critically. Because I don't want a movie that's just a tool. I want a movie that's good. And if it also resets the universe, I guess that's cool. But a movie's just like how I thought Avengers 2 was trash because it was really just a tool to set up later stuff. I don't want a movie that's just a plot device. I want a movie that's just a good movie standalone. I think that's the first rule of any movie enjoyment, is that if the movie doesn't stand on its own, I don't care about it. It's just still not a good
Avengers 2
movie.
was rough. Oh god, Avengers 2 was rough.
I remember thinking I liked it when I watched it in theaters.
I fell asleep the first time I watched it.
I absolutely was like, okay, wait, so you take one of the most murderous, scary entities in the Marvel Universe, who was won on documented occasions where they had to reset the timeline, and you make him a silly puppet dude who wants to have friends that are humans because he's lonely, and then his controverted reason is he wants to evolve humans and not just wipe them out or enslave. There's so many questions I have to how stupid this plot was.
Yeah, I don't know. It's wacky.
I mean, Quinn, are there any other particular movies that you're looking forward to or anything before we jump into some Tekken here?
Anime wise, I'm looking forward to Demon Slayer starting its new season, the Swordsmith Village arc, which should be friggin' fire. Witch from Mercury season 2 is also starting.
I think it just started.
I really enjoyed season 1 actually, and I have high hopes for season 2.
Maybe we should actually review the first season. And because people were very angry about my thoughts on episode 1.
Were they?
Yeah. Yes. One of our highest viewed videos on my YouTube channel is me getting angry and saying that the show is a dumpster fire. And so I told people, I said, look, I might go back when season 1 is done and review it. We might review it. What I told.
Okay.
So we might have to do that. I have been watching a lot of Bleach though.
Bleach is always fun.
Yeah,
it's actually not that long when you cut out the filler.
Yeah, it's about 200 episodes without filler, and so that's 165 or so episodes of straight filler, which is ungodly.
Still not as bad as Naruto.
Oh no, nothing is.
So
when you finish the show and then it has more filler.
Wow.
Hey, savage, bro.
Yeah, I've been enjoying Bleach. I'm actually just about the part where they are about to rescue Rukia. I'm
getting into literally the best part of Bleach.
Yep, which is
Society, baby.
I didn't realize how much of it I've seen before, but I'm around close to episode 60. But it's been pretty fun.
I feel like Bleach is
not a bad show.
Insanely underrated because it's it's a show that What? You think it's overrated? Or
No,
It's
it's
not
not.
underrated.
It's appropriately
Really?
rated. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
A lot of
Like,
people argue it's one of the big three.
I feel like
It
people
is one of
don't-
the big three.
I feel like people don't talk about it anymore.
One Piece, Naruto, Bleach.
Dragon Ball. I'm sorry, you're wrong about that.
No, the big three was like Naruto,
Uh huh.
One Piece,
Mhm.
and Bleach.
Damn, did I start a fight?
Dragon Ball wasn't even.
People say that Dragon Ball is one of the big three. I agree with them. What are you saying that those mangas
They're
are bigger
nuts.
than Dragon Ball?
No, different time.
Dragon Ball's like the OG.
Oh, you're talking about a different era.
Yeah,
It's a different era. Yeah.
It's like 90s, and then
those big three were like basically the new era of
of
shonen.
shonen. Fair enough. But
And
yeah,
Bleach was usually seen as the weakest, but I thought Naruto was the weakest. So
I
whatever.
think Bleach so far is perfectly okay. I don't think it's like, I think it's good. I don't think it's anything like that's knocked my socks off yet. But
Soul Society really set the bar higher in Bleach.
yeah, so that's not good. That's the
And
case.
you're just going into that. So you
The
know.
thing about Naruto is like, I want to respect
gotta-
the hustle, but they lost so many points for all the filler. Like the manga is perfectly serviceable. It's still enjoyable.
It's okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
At a certain point, I gave up and I just decided to finish the manga out rather than finishing the show out, which I will never do now. But it's such a disappointment when you realize that it's like, yeah, like maybe they need like a Naruto Kai. You know what I mean? Like something, something to just fix it.
Nope.
Who knows,
They just
maybe-
need to be done with Naruto.
'Cause
Move on.
It hurts. It hurts.
Exactly. They did Boruto.
Stop beating Boruto's dad with a stick. So anyway,
That's pretty cool. Should get his own show.
good. Be really cool. So anyway, God, where did I put
Yo.
this? Oh
don't
no. Yo, how you guys been anyway? Just give me 1 second here. I gotta switch over.
We
Fix
just went
this.
over all this.
Dude, I know, right?
It's
Dude.
because
We gotta give
I've
the audience. We gotta give the audience a chance to recover.
Fine, I guess.
We gotta give
Okay.
the audience a chance to recover. We
Anyway,
had so
so-
many controversial nerd opinions in the last.
Mr. Harada has taken a little bit of been like really weird and kind of controversial. Not controversial, I would say, but just sort of like, I don't know,
Yeah.
spicy like on Twitter lately, where he just kind of took a shot at Capcom and he's just like, yo, we're gonna have more characters on release than Street Fighter 6 is, even though they have a year to prepare. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of strange. Yeah, I think they could release. You know what? I have a feeling they could release this year, but they don't want to compete against Street.
I don't think that's it
I don't
at
think
all.
it's ready. Yeah,
You don't think it's in?
ready.
I just don't think it's ready. I think they
Ready?
want to release like a fully finished product, and that is the timeline they have set for themselves. Whereas
Right.
Capcom is happy with what they have, and they're like, "Yeah, we're on schedule. We're releasing it this time. That's how it is. We've delayed enough."
Yeah.
Also, I mean, look at their business models even for their last game. Like Capcom probably made a ton of money off their character DLC releases because
Oh,
they
for
released
sure.
what, like 5 packs at a time. Whereas
Plus
Tekken
costumes.
plus costumes.
Mhm.
Whereas Tekken DLC characters, what it was it like 1 or 2 characters per season? It wasn't as many characters.
Yeah.
And I mean-
it was like 3 or 4.
Near the end of it, it was like
Except for the end.
1 or 2.
2. Yeah.
But then you
So-
would get like more stages, more whatever.
But that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I think Capcom added more DLC characters as part of their revenue model and their game cycle than Tekken did. And also, I mean, it probably takes more time to develop a 3D character than 2D character because less movesets,
Well, I mean,
less
let's-
interactions.
Let's look at the Street Fighter moveset. All right, now let's look at the Tekken
Yeah,
moveset.
it-
Oh god, it just keeps growing.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
it's not hard to see why it takes longer for an individual character to come out for Tekken. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting that he's already kind of been just, well, it's sort of like, I think Harada is just kind of shown in the past few kind of tweets he has how much he thrives on competition as like a person. And I think this is not the first time he's like taken shots at Capcom before, even criticizing like the amount of they've been charging for DLC, even to like Ono's face, like while they're in a meeting together, right? Like live on stage.
He's definitely got like a wrestler heel persona. Like that's 300%.
Yeah. And it's sort of like
Don't ask me for shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's the continuation of that. Like, and it sort of continued when, he went on to actually say to someone, and he just go ahead and dropped the fact that Tekken 8 is going to have rollback and crossplay. Right? He just casually drops that right in this tweet that was like, that said, here is like, already installed it. It already has what you want. The reason why we don't make big announcements like crossplay is because even if we make big announcements, people like you will only say things like, "Wow." That's normal in this day and age. Shut up. Sit the hell down. So real friendly, that Harada. I gotta tell you,
out here drunk tweeting.
He definitely is just like, it was something that so many people have been looking forward to, and Harada's just like, you know what, dude, I'm so sick of getting these tweets. So could you just shut up about this crossplay and rollback? Because it's in the game, man. Just leave me alone.
He came back late from Harada's bar, and he's like, these fucking fans and
So, question, is Harada like now the Ed Boon of Japanese fighting games?
No.
What?
No, God, no. If Harada was like Ed Boon,
like, oh, maybe there is, maybe there isn't.
Yeah,
True.
because
Ed Boon does keep it closer to his chest.
Ed
but
Boon,
they're both trolls. They're both trolls.
Ed Boon,
not a troll. He just gives information and then shit talks you.
Harada's definitely a troll, but like he gives information too. There's definitely
Harada's kind of like Eris, actually.
Hmm?
Probably get along.
Like you learn something, but also if you say the wrong thing,
get shit on.
He's just gonna shit on you.
Get bitched out. No.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like if Harada was like Ed Boon, then he would probably just like randomly say a bunch of lies and then never follow up on them again.
Yeah.
And which is
have like a tweet of a random image and it has nothing to do with anything.
Yes, he's just there, kind of like poking the fans, and
true.
Just like how he's like, oh well, maybe we're making a game for Marvel, but maybe we're not. And it's like, we all know you're not. Boone, please stop. Please just stop this.
Didn't he like? I mean, granted, I think Harada. You're right. Harada does like to actually give more information.
Yeah.
But he also does every now and then play things close to his chest. Like I remember they were pressing him about like, will there ever be a Street Fighter or
Tekken Cross Street Fighter?
Yeah, Tekken Cross Street Fighter, and he was like, I mean, it's still something we're thinking about. Like I guess he like tried to like really kind of like play it. But I mean, that's because
he's actually recovered yet from like the failure of it. Because I know it hurt everyone involved, right?
Yeah.
Street Fighter X Tekken?
Like, yeah. Everyone was just like, this is shit. I can't believe this didn't work. Like, kind of energy. And
to be fair,
they'd be more hesitant to even entertain it again.
To be fair, in my personal opinion, I think he really actually wants. I think he still really wants to make that game, which is why he's been bringing it up.
Tooth and nail to get Akuma in the game, so like,
yeah,
why not? Yeah,
it was like we may not get it.
It was cool as fuck, but it wasn't the Tekkeniest Tekken thing ever. It was very not Tekken.
Fuck Akuma.
Yeah.
Whoa,
all
people
my homies hate Akuma.
Yo, why is it that everybody hates the 2D but nobody plays them? Saying. The only people that hate 2D are people that watch high level.
Because I have standards.
You have standards?
Yeah.
You play Fang. Shut up. You're like,
I play mostly.
You're lying. Yeah, okay.
I play mostly Leo and Miguel.
I'm picking up Fang. What rank is your Fang?
He might like doing scummy stuff, but at least it's Tekken scummy stuff. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want to weird.
My Byakuya freaking Fang, which is just nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
My divine ruler Leo.
Just coasting on that Fang.
Coasting on those Leo buffs.
Oh, what? Okay, wait. Also, remember when Craig Marduk got all those buffs? Who do I know that was playing Craig Marduk? Yeah. Like his tackle was really hard to stuff in like one of the patches that Tekken 7 got recently.
I can only think of Craig Marduk nerfs. I can't think of any buffs.
All I'm saying is I remember specifically hearing how good Craig Marduk was, and someone particular that I know was playing him. That's all I'm saying.
I was playing him.
Yeah, that's right. You were playing him,
He
and that's
has a
exactly.
really fun throw game.
Yeah, I know.
I said Marduk's really good, and then I proceeded to play Marduk.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying.
I put my character where my mouth is.
That sounded sus.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I get that, you know, people want to give. Like, I just don't understand the 2D hate. I really don't.
I think it's just because people
they just break all the rules. That's my biggest issue.
Mm-hmm.
Tekken has like a defined set of you can do this, you can do this, you can do this, and then 2D are like, well, I mean, I could do this, but if I have bar, I can do this and this and this.
So you might not like Tekken 8. I have a hard. I hate to break it to you.
I am reserved about Tekken 8, but if everyone has access to the tools, then isn't it more fair, right?
Right, but
See,
then
if Leo had a bar and could do stupid fancy Leo shit with a bar, then I wouldn't be upset about Akuma doing stupid fancy Akuma shit with a bar.
Yeah, but can he Hadouken though?
Can he Hadouken?
He definitely cannot.
Can he Hadouken,
bro? He can't.
He's got a baby death fist and like a crouch stance. So you know.
But yeah, speaking of which, I mean, did we want to talk about the new mechanics, or we still have a couple other things?
So okay, so that's right. So we got crossplay here, and then it's sort of like we were gonna roll into what were, and you know, of course we've missed so much Tekken 8 news that we didn't get to cover like 90% of the trailers that had come out.
So when's a better time than now?
So
guys, remember the Kazuya trailer? Us neither. Well, we haven't covered a trailer since then.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
So I've got to ask, what were some of your guys' favorite Tekken 8 trailers that are? I don't know if who wants to go first here. Quinn, would you mind doing us the honors?
Sure. I think Asuka's was one of my favorite trailers, oddly enough.
Really? Asuka?
Yeah, I really like her redesign. I like how they added like this cocky like stance she has where she's just like, yeah, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, and then does some bombastic move. I'm just a super fan of them heavily distancing Asuka from Jun so that they can have both characters in the game.
Really?
And I think it worked out really well.
I feel like a lot of people did.
And her outfit's a banger.
I feel like a lot of people did.
Okay.
I
First of all, look, I get it if you like Asuka. Listen to me. I get it if you like Asuka, but get out of here if you're saying her costume is good. Okay, you can get right out of here.
So good. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, it looks stupid.
Disagree.
So
I'm sorry, dude.
Disagree, bro.
Leroy, the master of drift himself.
Master of drift.
yeah.
Hell yeah. No, that was hype as fuck.
He's looking crazy. It looks like they basically took all the nerfs they did in Tekken 7. They're like, he didn't need those. And they just put fucking Tekken 7 and release Leroy and Tekken 8.
Hell yeah.
He's going to be a nightmare.
Some unethical stuff.
Give me it all, baby.
He's going to be a problem. He's going to be a menace.
Dude,
But he looks really good.
Everyone else who fights him is going to slip on all the drip. Because it's
actually really hard to like find really like a bad trailer in a sense. Like I feel that maybe Jin's was kind of like underwhelming, right? But no, I guess the weakest would probably be Nina's.
I guess. Yeah, I would say Nina.
Nina's trailer was kind of like, it almost feels like it was the first one made.
Yeah.
And they weren't quite happy with it, but they threw it out anyway at one point.
I think the other thing about the trailers that like it's like I think you like a trailer obviously based on how much you like their mechanics and how like cool you think they are. So I definitely think there's gonna have some like difference of opinion there.
So
yeah, I mean the later trailers have been sick, and I love the
Lost trailer. Lost trailer is amazing. The announcer kills it every time.
I was gonna say,
I want a setting to have that as the announcer.
Yes.
Can I get her as the announcer?
Can we all just can we all just take a second to like recognize how cool the fucking announcer part of the trailers are? Like it just gets me hype every time. Like how he like weirdly says every character's
better be
name.
in the goddamn game as the announcer option, or else
is it a he or a she?
It's a she.
It's a she.
She? Well, either way, killing it.
She's she's originally, from what I know her from, is she's the Pride Grand Prix MMA lady.
Yeah.
So when I was a kid, I used to watch Pride quite a bit, and that's where I first heard her from. And then she also does things like Kaneko Man Grand Prix for the PS2. Like she's the announcer for that. So now she's in Tekken 8. And if you guys didn't know, a little tidbit here, Harada is a huge MMA fan. So that is probably why she is the announcer in Tekken 8. Just as like a little tidbit there.
She kills it every time, so
yeah,
great choice. I don't know, so many trailers are just so good. It's hard to like
the Jack trailer with the railgun, hilarious.
Everything just looks really good. Everything looks really fun.
Yeah, man, Jack.
I'm having like character crisis, honestly. I'm like, do I play them? Oh no, they look really cool. Oh, what? They can do that?
Jack 8
shit, Kingdom the pedigree
with like, his freaking his war machine type super that he's doing.
Yeah, like she just laser cannons you.
Here's my Sunday best. Proton cannon. I love it, dude.
I don't know. It's wild. Everything just looks so good, so polished.
Personally, I think my favorite trailers were. I actually think Lars looked really cool.
The lightning effect.
He's literally the Flash.
Yeah, that was sick.
He's literally becomes a lightning bolt. Yeah. I think that's so dope.
And then he has his Ninja Storm ultimate.
Yeah. Yes, they gave him his Ninja Storm ultimate from Ninja Storm 3,
which is fantastic.
Yeah, dude. And then, so for me, I think my favorite trailer so far was the Jin trailer. I like that one a lot. I liked the martial law trailer was good. But I think it's
so much Bruce Lee.
Much Bruce Lee. For sure. I think
like before it was like a nod to Bruce Lee. Now I'm just playing as Bruce Lee.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is the most Bruce Lee character ever in a fighting game, in my opinion.
He definitely don't look natty anymore, though.
No, he's not, man.
No one does.
Like he definitely on the juice now, bro.
Everybody's jacked.
Did you see King? Like holy King.
Yeah. Whoa. Jesus, man. Like they just like hit him like. Yeah, it's like it turned to like old school professional wrestling. They're like, "Hey, yo, you can't go in the ring before you juice up."
Even freaking Leroy, Leroy's freaking juiced in that trailer. I'm like, Jesus, what happened? Where was he hiding those in 7?
Right. But yeah, I think I really like the Jin trailer, and my reason being that it has a lot of lore implications in his moveset.
Yeah.
So I made a video about this, but essentially the way it looks is that Jin has half of a wing. Like he has one wing, which means he's semi in control of his devil abilities. And sort of like, coming to terms with that. And like, instead of in Tekken 4 and 5, when he sort of rejects his Mishima style, he's saying, oh, I can actually I have to control this power to be able to defeat Kazuya. And so there's that kind of element going on. And not to mention, when you watch Jin's intros, he usually says power is everything. And now in his intros in his trailer, he says power is not everything. And so there's sort of going to be this like, there's going to be a reason there's going to give him a character arc and how he changes. I'm really most excited about that. I think it's going to add some layers to how the trailer went. And but yeah, August, what was
also the news? They Harada confirmed that Heihachi won't be coming back story-wise in this game. That will be interesting. It will be.
All we need is a flashback to get him on the roster.
All you need.
I know, right?
That's
For
it.
real.
That's all you need.
Ghost Heihachi, Dream Heihachi. It's all been done before.
Nightmare Heihachi.
Nightmare Heihachi.
Oh, I might have changed my favorite trailer to June, honestly. Thinking about it.
Jun
Her powers
Kazama.
look really cool. Her powers do
June
look
trailer
really cool.
was really good. And I love how they instantly like brought up like the intro between June and Kazuya.
Yeah, that was cool.
Where Kazuya's just like, oh, you've been alive this whole time.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing.
And all
that was
she's just like, Kazuya, ugh, hey, what's up?
And then she hands him his child support bill. Where is
Yeah,
it?
right?
Where's the
And
child
then she beats
support?
the shit out of him and then heals him.
Exactly.
Hey,
Takes
you
him
gotta
to
keep
court.
paying that child support, bro.
Yeah.
You know he got the money now.
I just love that basically confirms that intros and outros for
Yeah.
specific character matches are back.
No, they
Yep.
haven't said that. They
So
haven't said that.
so good.
Yep.
It's
That hasn't been a thing in fighting games in a minute, right? Like character specific intros.
Tekken 5?
Well, like
Five or six?
even Street Fighter, right? Does Street Fighter have specific intros? Like
Um,
we've been missing it for a
Very
while.
few of them, like maybe like Ryu and Ken, like they'll have a specific intro.
Yeah.
But yeah, August, did you have any particular trailers that you liked the most?
Yeah, I mean, Law trailer was awesome. King trailer was awesome. Like, and honestly, I don't think I can really complain about any of the characters. Like, as I said, like any of the trailers I didn't like as much were more based on the character mechanics than the trailer not being good. So I can't really hold that against the trailer. But yeah, like,
Even the Nina trailer?
it looks. Hey man,
She's got the strap
I am-
though. She's strapped.
I respect any fighting
It's just-
game that's going to be unapologetic about a character just pulling out some gaps, bro. Like,
I mean, I'm fine with her having gaps, right? It's just her trailer's just kind of nothing. I don't know.
Yeah,
I wanna
It's
believe
it's the least
universe where-
trailery, I guess.
I want to believe in a universe where people can use their key to deflect bullets. So I mean, gats are just like right up there, bro. Like I'm down. Make a balance. I'm good.
Swinging those in neutral.
Yeah.
I think I forgot to mention as well is that not only did, and I want to throw this in there, not only did Jin, have part of his like devil powers, but he has Devil Jin's moveset, and now he's like a hybrid style,
Yes.
which I think is really
Yes.
cool. It's gonna create like a sort of new dynamic, and I really, if Devil Jin's not in the game, I'm not gonna be sad. It's not. I am gonna be happy that is it Hell Sweep is not gonna. It's not a full
Hell
sweep anymore.
His Hell Sweep isn't launching anymore.
Yeah, thank God.
It's good. We take those.
We're gonna have to work.
Maybe he'll be able to do something with heat though, so yeah.
Probably.
Who knows?
But anyway, so why don't we just move on to our main? Because there's been a lot of trailers, and this is probably all we're gonna get for a long time.
We talked about who. Yeah. Okay, Mans. Let's do it.
Yeah. Let's talk about.
I want to talk about like who we think is and isn't coming back. But we'll get to it.
Well, that's next. That's
wait.
after.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we'll get there.
So here, I'm gonna go share my screen. So I made a list for us here, and should be able to check this out. So, who is it that you guys think you're going to main trailers that have come out? So it's all good. You're good. So, we have, I believe, all of these are the released characters. So, Quint, who do you think you're definitely maining in this game? We can give you a couple of choices here. Why don't you pick like 2 or 3? If it's been difficult.
I'm definitely giving Law and June a shot.
Okay. I'm surprised about Law. That doesn't really seem like your type of character.
It doesn't, but I love Bruce Lee. I love like that martial arts type stuff, and Law just seems like a much more fun and versatile character in Tekken 8.
Indeed. August,
Plus
who
nunchucks.
do you think you would kind of be to sort of who you're gonna main? You're gonna pick
Eventually, it's ultimately gonna be Leroy. Because I mean, come on, he's called the Grandmaster Drip. That's just sick nasty.
Into the backlog, huh?
That's just fresh as fuck. But honestly, to start the game, probably just Jin and Lars. I both think they're
Jin
cool
and Lars,
characters.
huh?
I'm not so secretly a weeb, so I mean, yeah, like I want to Lars. Me and Lars are gonna be like this, you know what I'm saying?
I hear you. Yeah, I mean, so here's my thing. I'm in a conundrum, right? Because I'm sort of thinking maybe Kazuya, maybe Paul, maybe King. But also I have some of your mains here too, where it's like I'm looking at Jin, I'm looking at Lars, and I'm looking at Law, right?
Okay.
Right, there's nobody else here.
Mains for everybody?
There's nobody else here who I'm really thinking that I want to play as, but like maybe King is probably who I'm going to start out with if I'm getting. So,
yeah.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind giving Nina a shot also.
Nina?
Yeah.
Yeah, same with Nina. Same me and Nina as well. I really want to try those gats.
Why am I putting these? I'm putting them in trash. Apparently I am.
I don't know.
Here. So yeah. I mean, like, man, just the drip alone. Look, I'm gonna have to put.
Aw,
I'm gonna have to put Asuka in trash.
Bro.
Look, even like on
Ling
Harada's.
looks super fucking AIDS. We saw like some of her heat.
I mean,
degeneracy.
isn't Ling degenerate into every game though? Let's be honest.
Yeah, pretty much. She's very much.
You're not wrong, but you know.
But no, I mean, I don't know. Like, I've seen on Harada's Twitter people asking him like, "Hey, can we give them this outfit?" And he's like, "I'll think about it, but I'm probably gonna put it in there." And it's just like I've never seen like a big AAA director man just be like, "Yeah, I don't know, we'll think about it. Yeah, we kind of like that," or you know, whatever. But I mean, Jack.
Harada said he liked Asuka's Tekken 7 outfit, and that would be returned.
Yeah, I like that so much better.
He needs something different than that. Whatever she's wearing.
It's an abomination.
It's like a freaking England school outfit. Get at me.
To humanity, bro.
Yeah, right.
you gotta start saying fucking like English slang, like the fucking memes for.
All right, that's it. I'm gonna play Ling. Screw you guys.
Playing Ling?
You guys are getting back launched. Yep.
Here we go.
There you go.
But yeah, it's been very difficult for me to sort of to kind of pick a main in this game, and I think it's gonna continue to be until there's like someone who catches my eye. I mean,
Jack's all alone.
Everyone looks so good. Everyone
does look so good. Everyone does look so good.
Everybody does look good. It's just that it's the difficulty of it's a paralysis of choice. That's what it is.
Yeah, no, for sure. I feel like I have to get my hands on the game for my final choice. Like I can't just like watch the trailer, and I don't think I'll watch a trailer and just be like, "That's the one. That's the one."
You gotta feel it.
Maybe I will. I don't know. Maybe that Leo trailer will come out and be like, Leo still.
Probably.
But who knows?
I mean, I feel like with King, I know I can pick King up and start playing King. Okay. You know, I kind of have enough knowledge of him. Pick him up and start running. That's really the only reason I have King up there. Because no one else has interested me enough.
We learned more about King from the testers. Some people talked about King.
Really?
He's kind of insane. He basically, like, his heat, he has a run up, and you just have to guess. You're stuck. You're getting thrown, and you have to guess.
Guess which one you're gonna take.
It's just happening.
The true 50-50, bro.
Yeah.
God bless. But yeah,
it'll be hard.
So we kind of picked our mains, right? And in that, the other question I have for you guys is, who do you think is gonna return in Tekken 8, and who do you think will not return? Tekken 8.
Not return?
Yes.
Gigas.
Gigas? That's free.
Gone.
Yeah.
There's no way Gigas is coming back. I don't see any future with a Gigas unless they somehow rolled like Gigas and Marduk into like one character or something weird like that.
I could totally see that, because I think they didn't they? They're probably. I think I heard something they are planning on bringing Marduk back, so I would be surprised.
They have like a fairly similar moveset in some ways, so like, it would work.
A lot of people had thought that Gigas was Marduk.
Yeah.
A lot of people did.
And,
Yeah.
well, other people thought it was like Katarina's dad or some nonsense. Like, I don't know.
There was some weird stuff. There was some weird lore going on.
Speaking of another character not coming back, probably Katarina.
Katarina?
Why do you think so?
Yeah, she wasn't very well received. People seemed to hate her design. She wasn't very popular. Like, we only have like 2 professional players that play Katarina.
Really? Didn't one of them like make top 8 recently? Well,
yeah, no, we've had one that recently won some tournament. I forgot what it was. It was Gerlanda that won the tournament. But yeah.
So Noctis is coming back, right?
No.
yeah, no, I think Noctis.
We couldn't even get item customization for Noctis, and you think Noctis is coming back?
Oh no! So much money wasted.
I think any of the guest characters are probably not coming back.
I mean, I think Geese has a chance because Harada's like, I freaking love King of Fighters, and I'm like, yeah, I guess you do, don't you?
If any guest character were ever to survive death by being thrown off a bridge, it would be Geese. But no,
Geese Tower.
Yeah, Geese Tower.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Geese was amazing. Coolest looking character to come for another fighting game into Tekken. Like his design just looked so cool with Tekken.
It's just Geese.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want.
It was just sick. It looked cool. It looked
not much to change.
Akuma is not coming back with Extreme Prejudice.
You think so? Because he's in our canon lore. So
yeah, he is in lore. Like
possible.
Tekken and Street Fighter in Tekken and Street Fighter in the same universe. Somehow.
SNK too.
I think Akuma's probably an actual shoo-in to come back. Unfortunately,
really?
Yeah,
really?
I really do. Yeah, especially the way Tekken 7 ended. Like Akuma's literally just tied into the lore.
That would be so weird. I don't know. Like. I feel like the fans, like so many people didn't like him in the main Tekken community.
He's super popular though.
A lot of people bought that DLC, just like Street Fighter, man.
Yeah.
Akuma sells, baby. Akuma sells bucks. He sells
Akuma was base roster.
Yeah.
I mean, I think.
Yeah, you're right.
I think I think there's a good chance that Akuma could come back as well. But I also wouldn't be surprised if he was replaced by someone else with a similar moveset. I think that's more likely, personally.
They toss Ryu in there.
Yeah.
Vampire. No, the vampire was made. Was it
Eliza?
Like
Eliza?
Yeah, Eliza was made to have like to test the 2D mechanics. So
yeah.
I feel like she could come back to do that.
Yeah, but Eliza's Tekken first and 2D second.
Right. Or yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough. But I
think Eliza has a decent chance of coming back because ooh, sexy vampire lady, you know.
I just think that they need to sort of step it up in some kind of way and maybe throw some Virtua Fighter characters in. That's what the game really needs. Needs like Akira.
Is it?
Yeah.
But how are you gonna differentiate freaking Akira and Leo?
That's not important.
Oh, because one character is better than the other.
If you know, you know.
Ah, okay, fair enough.
True fans will recognize.
And we all know it's Akira. So.
No, yeah. But yeah, honestly, I think there's definitely more discussion to be had about what new characters will probably come back, because I definitely think there will be some new characters that might not come back.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely think there'll be some new characters that do come back. And you know, the cool thing about having already designed a new character that was decently popular is that, like, you know, if you make a DLC, people are probably gonna buy it.
Yeah.
So as much as people hated Lucky Chloe, I can totally see Lucky Chloe coming back. As much as I think people liked Josie, I could definitely totally see Josie coming back. The more recent ones, yeah, Fakuran was controversial, but his design is so imposing and insane. He's absolutely coming back.
Claudio's coming back.
Claudio looks
feel
cool
it in my bones.
He's got to. Lore-wise,
he's the head of the Exorcist. It looks like June's like straight up wearing like an Exorcist
clothing
type outfit. Yeah, so like maybe Claudio was protecting June or some nonsense. Who knows?
Can we also
all this wild stuff?
Can we also just point out like my prediction, seemingly coming closer to true? Tekken 8.
Which one?
Oh, that Jun is gonna come back and she's gonna have angelic powers, going to heal
Bobby energy.
Jin and Kazuya from their Devil Gene.
It's possible.
But you had told me that it's unlikely because I'm using Tekken Tag lore.
I mean, this is true, but we also have seen her with powers in, her trailer now.
Mm-hmm.
And I also liked how they kept her rage art, her just basically healing you to death.
Yep. Oh yeah, healing you to death. Yeah.
So like,
I mean, it's a mechanic.
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for her to be like, all right, children, stop fighting. I'm taking both of your devil genes, and you can get them back later.
I'm pretty sure they heavily implied that's the story. Is that like the fight between Jin and Kazuya was going to start destroying the world, so she came down to like stop it or whatever. The question is like, did she have powers before, or was she like a normal human before?
That's a great question.
Quote unquote.
I think she honestly died, and I think she's going to come back with angelic powers. But I don't know. Hard to say.
I don't think we really knew if she had any like actual powers. We know for a fact that she could suppress the devil gene.
That's true.
That was one of her powers in canon, that she can suppress the devil gene. So like maybe she leveled that shit up.
Yeah. She definitely had the Well, do you think that's what it was like when she first met Kazuya? She was like, I could fix him. And she just realized,
I can fix that.
I can fix him. I can get rid of the devil gene. It's fine.
It's like this. Then she realized there's more than the devil gene wrong with this man.
Yeah.
Then she
thrown off a cliff one too many times. Am I right?
As the old story goes, y'all think you could fix his devil gene, but you can't. He's just broken.
It wasn't the genes. It was the man. But yeah, I mean, Jin looks so sick. I might even play her. Like her mechanic looks really kind of cool. Is it like a trap, like light attack? It looks neat. I don't even know what.
Who knows?
Probably like a parry style.
Yeah, it looks really cool. Whatever it was. But yeah, no, she looks.
She has like a charge thing too. She like charges up like holy energy or some shit, and then just like a blast. I'm like, oh, that's neat.
Yeah. It's cool that we're starting to get characters from old Tekken, like characters we haven't seen in a while. I don't think we'll ever get Dr. Boskanovich again, but who knows? Like, who do you think anyone?
It's not really a loss.
I think we're gonna get Alex. I think we're gonna get Alex for sure.
I think Alex is basically confirmed.
Yoshimitsu.
The motion capture behind the scenes thing that they showed us.
Yeah, they're gonna have.
Same with Yoshi, because who else has a sword?
Yeah.
Do
you think anyone else from old Tekken is gonna come back? Like,
probably Brian,
Jin, my dude.
I could see Ogre coming back.
I would love
True Ogre. Yeah, that would be really cool. Like Ogre, True Ogre.
I could see Ogre coming back because, like, he comes back when he like senses like incredible like fighting spirits. Like, what's more incredible fighting spirit than freaking Kazuya versus Jin fighting with devil powers?
Yeah, someone has to have some kind of a battle. I mean, with Jun coming back too, there might be some kind of like lore implications there that they could kind of play with and whatever it may be. But speaking of like interesting mechanics, that characters could have, how do we think that rage art is going to work? Rage drive, whatever it may be. Because I have some theories about this, and
we don't know what it is, like what the universal
heat system
tie to all the mechanic is, how the heat system is going to function.
Oh, the heat system.
Yeah. So here's my theory. I'm gonna throw out there. I think that the heat system are auto combos. 100%. That's my theory. I think anytime you see them rushing in or doing a combo, I think that's an auto combo. I don't think that there's a manual going in there. I think there could be a manual input. Maybe we'll get you more damage. But I do think in general, like any kind of starting of that motion in the run in, that is all straight auto combos, which is, I think a lot of like legacy players and purists are not really happy about. Let's face it.
You don't think there'll be a motion for the dash? Like, I think the rest of the stuff might be.
I think it'll be very least 2 buttons, maybe 1, probably 1.
So we've actually seen from the videos of like some of the stuff that they have released to like content creators, like that were in the alpha test. They're like, okay, you can take some of this footage home, kind of stuff. That it basically you have your heat enabling moves, and that goes into like the heat dashes, and then you also have like heat enders where you do just like a fancy little bop 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 kind of thing, you know, and then that ends your heat and does a bunch of damage. So it doesn't seem like they're actual auto combos.
Yep.
But it's more of like a ending input versus like a starting input. And then you can also just like go into heat like raw, like max mode, but it doesn't work as well as going into it off of a heat enabling move.
Interesting.
Right, it's kind of like, it is like max mode, right? Where it's like you can activate
like
it just to get your buffs and then, you know, kind of combo into it if you confirm.
Yep.
And then cast it out for all of the most damage.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's basically max mode. Yeah.
Basically max mode.
For heat. It's what we got for heat. You know?
Ironically, no one wanted any of the 2D characters, but we got all the 2D mechanics.
All of the 2D.
All of the mechanics. Hey, bro.
If everyone's 2D, nobody's 2D.
Tekken was like, hey, yo, let me see your homework, KOF. You feel it?
And it took it, yeah.
It's true. I mean, you're not wrong.
But no, I mean, I think a lot of these games are trying to find the next secret spice, trying to find the next kind of evolutionary form to kind of put them over the top. I definitely think a lot of people don't talk about it, but like looking like hindsight 2020, the secret sauce in Tekken 7 that I think put a lot of people like, oh, yo, I got to try Tekken 7 was the slow-mo. The slowdowns as like it was right about to like do the last hit. That looks cool as fuck. Like never having touched Tekken before, you could instantly be like, okay, that's just cool. Like
it creates hype.
Yeah. Absolutely. Hype mechanic.
And I also think
moment.
Tekken 7's focus on like esports and growing that also helped Tekken 7 like reach a broader audience, because people would be like, wait, what's this game? They're doing a bunch of cool shit. And then like the slow-mos hit and the rage arts hit, you're like, whoa, this game's amazing. I'm gonna go play it.
Yeah. But I mean, Tekken 7 definitely had a level of like flashiness that I don't think previous Tekkens have had. Like I'm not an expert on that much of an expert on old Tekken.
No, they really haven't.
Yeah, I mean, I like outside looking in, like I definitely think Tekken 7 was the game. It's like, we need to make this look cool to people who have never played Tekken before.
Slow-mos and rage arts.
Slow-mos and rage arts!
It's just cool.
Yeah, it's just cool. Like a super and that like slows shit down, and also just slowing shit down on the last hit. That just looks awesome.
I mean, it kind of makes sense why they would go with like a flasher style this time around. Because they're like, oh, this is what people want. They want the flash. They don't.
Yeah, exactly.
People don't care about the legacy mechanics and keeping it pure. And I'm personally, and this kind of can go into what, you know, the next subject is, and that would sort of be, is it harder for a 3D fighter like Tekken to change mechanics opposed to a 2D fighter like Street Fighter?
I mean, I'm gonna start with, in my opinion, it's not even just that. It's that like, if you're gonna make a new game, I think a lot of people would like a new mechanic. The thing that becomes trickier is in modern new games, so much gets invested, you want the most people to buy in as possible. So you need to get people who weren't even fans of the original franchise on board. And how you get that going is like, you have a dramatic new mechanic. You have something flashy, you have something exciting. You have a radical change that, you know, looks cool and is flashy, but is also like, oh yeah, I could totally see why I'd want to play that. And I think that's what Tekken 8 was going for. The devs of Street Fighter are insane. They change the game every time, and it's like dramatic. It's like the fact that honestly the Street Fighter devs take such a risk every time with their game mechanics. To me, it's brave, but it's also like it's a little crazy. But they do manage to seem successful, so I don't know. But I would absolutely say it's hard to change a 3D game. It's just with 3D games, I think there's more legacy fans to. I don't know. It's just different. Like I think that the legacy fans are going to be more critical upon a Tekken, which hasn't seen so many drastic changes in each iteration, to a Street Fighter, which every iteration is different.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think it's much harder to change a 3D game. I mean, especially with you look at something like Virtua Fighter, which really, I mean, from a bird's eye view, really doesn't look like it's changed too much. It seems like, you know, once you have like 8 ways to move, it seems like a nightmare to kind of get in there and be like, oh, let's change all this stuff. Let's add all these new mechanics. And then, you know, the amount of testing you have to do and you know, just to keep a game fresh. It's impossible for us to keep the legacy game that people want Tekken to be. And if you want Tekken to die, then we keep it legacy, you know?
I think, oh, sorry, keep going.
You got to change it before people get tired of it. That's really how it works. There's no way to get around that.
Well, to piggyback off your Virtua Fighter example, the only other Virtua Fighter other than 5 I ever played was 2. And going from 2 to 5, I was like, this is practically the same game but prettier and with some more moves and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's very much the same like core mechanics, and then they've just layered extra stuff on.
What were you gonna say, August?
Like,
you
even
say
the
something?
combo structure is the same. It's
I was
whack.
gonna say, like, you gave me the idea for like the coolest like 3D fighting game shirt of 2023, in that like you said like was it 8 ways to move? Like I can just see like 8 ways to move, 1 way to win.
Ooh, okay. I kind of like that.
That's pretty good.
Isn't that sick?
Pretty
Yo,
good.
nobody take that. Nobody take that. And if you
Nobody
do,
steal that.
you do.
It's a backlog exclusive.
I kind of like that. I like that shirt though. That might be a good shirt. We might make that.
Store.
Yeah.
Good way
We
to
do
move.
merch eventually. That's
Oh, I think we're gonna be making merch sooner than later. It'd probably be this year. I'm not gonna lie. I think we should make some
Good.
t-shirts. Yeah, we should make some t-shirts. We gotta make some hoodies and maybe a hat or something.
big facts.
Yeah.
We're gonna figure
I think
something out.
Tekken's probably the hardest game to change because it is known as the legacy fighter.
It's the successful Virtua Fighter.
It really is.
Mhm.
Because it like
Say it.
so like they changed some mechanics, you know, like a little bit, but if you have experience in previous Tekkens, it usually just carries over straight into the new Tekken.
Yeah.
Like most of, like, for example, playing Tekken 7, most of the stuff from Tekken 7 is just gonna carry over into Tekken 8, but we also have the new Heat stuff to play around with. That's just how it's gonna be. And if they try to do like drastic changes, I think the community would revolt.
Well, I mean, that's the community was revolting early on before we got the trailers, and I'm like, okay, it actually looks cool though.
Well, that's because they're all little butthurt bitches.
But I mean,
That's just how communities are.
You know,
Whatever.
Gamers are the most oppressed class.
You gotta see how things are gonna work before you bitch about them. That's why I've always held like a very reserved stance on the Heat system, and now having seen more of the Heat system, I think it's interesting. It's fun. It's a new way to play. I'm all for it. Even people that like played the alpha, they're like, hey, it looks like a little wonky, it looks a little different than Tekken, but it is Tekken and it is really fun. Even like super critics like freaking Eris that just will tear apart every little detail about anything is like, yeah, no, Tekken 8 was really fun. It's crazy.
Yeah. I think it's definitely. I definitely do think though. Overall, it is way more difficult to change a 3D fighter. I think it's asking a lot, and I think even 3D fighting fans don't like change. They don't want the change.
Yeah.
2D.
I mean, most 3Ds are just rooted in legacy. That's
Yeah,
just how
exactly.
it is.
And
Again,
That's just how they
I think
are.
it is the complexity. It like there is a higher level of complexity to mechanics in a 3-dimensional game than a 2-dimensional game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's more to get your brain around. So of course,
Soul
Phase 8
Calibur.
changing it more. Yeah.
Soul Calibur, you know, like 2 to Soul Calibur 6. It looks prettier, and there's some new mechanics, but it's still just
Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur.
Yep.
Like you're still doing the same shit.
Absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's
No.
nothing wrong with that.
I mean,
We can't all be like Street Fighter or freaking Under Knights and stuff like that.
KOF.
So,
Yeah. I mean, think about it. Like Street
KOF.
Fighter changes everything from screen size to movement speed to just every way about a character interacts with another character. To,
look at
like,
Guilty
combo
Gear.
systems. Yeah.
Look at Guilty Gear. We go from just like wall whoring people, as they call it, to breaking walls because they're like, people were sick of being stuck at the wall. So now there is no proper wall. You could just bust through it.
You go through the wall now.
Speaking of which, did you see that
And
they
not
added
enough options for defense? Here's a new Roman cancel for defense. You know, it's like, let's go.
Speaking of which, did you see that they added wall splats to Tekken 8?
Yes.
Yeah, kind of wild. But I wasn't expecting that. They really.
You could, if you don't bound someone in a combo, once you get them to the wall, you can wall combo, resplat wall combo.
Oh god.
Gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Gonna hurt,
That's
baby.
like, that's what we've seen like some of in the trailer, where they don't do a bound in the combo, they get them to the wall, and then they like do a couple hits, and then splat them up higher, and then they do a full wall combo. That's what we've been seeing.
Well, what do you think?
So the bound system's more like versatile than the screw system is.
Oh, there's no more screws. There's no screw.
I haven't seen any screws.
Hmm.
I haven't seen any screws at all.
It's gonna be weird to
I've
get you.
seen like throw bounds and normal hit bounds and stuff like that, but I haven't seen a single screw.
What do you?
Not a tailspin.
What do you guys think that if you could change one mechanic, spice things, Tekken 8, what would you do? What would you add to Tekken 8 to make things like? What would you do to set this world on fire? You know what I mean?
Set the world on fire.
Yeah. How about yours?
In a good way.
But it's the way I like it, so I'll never get bored. No, Matt already knows my answer to this because we talked at length.
Yeah.
Well,
So
have at it.
this would be cancer, but I think in the funnest possible way. In that,
As it
I
always
would
is.
almost copy paste the Rage/Isen mechanics from Samurai Showdown, and then Tekken with one-hit kills for that round. Which I mean sounds crazy, and it is, but I think it would add such a layer of like trepidation and hype to the offense-defense cycle of Tekken, which normally you feel like is such a defensive game.
Right.
And of course, like obviously it's only one hit kill if it lands. Like I'm not going crazy here. But just the added threat of just like a one hit kill. I'd probably wait it so like it's easier to get in the early rounds and in the later rounds, because in the later rounds everyone's gonna be like, well, why the fuck not? I'm just gonna do it because it's
Throwing it out.
lose.
Fuck
yeah. But no, I would also make it so like if it fails, then it's like your opponent gets an insta kill on you too. Like the risk reward would have to be just that high. Like you either get it or you're done.
Kind of like Guilty Gear style.
Yeah. It's a last resort.
Some Rev 2 like one hit you're done kind of nonsense.
Yeah, it would be some nutty shit where like yes, they get like an ESEN attempt on you, and if they hit,
pretty wild.
You get got. But if they don't get you, you get them. They're just done. End of round.
What would I do?
I don't know what I would do.
I think I know what I would do.
Okay.
I would add more universal grappling systems. So like you can like grab people and then each have each other like a way to throw each other and counter throw each other.
Okay.
Yeah, so like you can get in grappling states where it's like, say Craig Marduk like tries to tackle you, you stuff the tackle and then you can counter grapple him. Like there's more options for that. I would love that. That would be so much fun. Like you can throw, like, you know, you could throw Craig Marduk if he tried to grapple you. Like he has the as long as you know the system. But if everybody kind of knows the system, then you can kind of neutralize each other. Or let's say you get into a grappling state, and then instead of doing a throw, like a low throw, you can attack low. Like you can throw it like a kick or something, like kick him in the shin or whatever. And then, you know, and then you could also throw low. And so there's that like 4-way type, you know, angles that you could pick. Like, am I going to throw him high or am I going to punch him high? Can he, but he can block the punch, right? and sort of counter that way. I don't know. I think that would be really fun. It'd be a little more technical.
I got one.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been a fan of Kazuya's Devil install. Let's give everyone an install.
An install, really?
Man.
Like everybody
nuts.
just gets powers. Everyone just gets like superpowers or something like that.
Charge,
It
bro.
doesn't even have to be.
Charged up.
It doesn't even have to be superpowers. It could just be like a powered up state where they get access to new moves.
Didn't Soul Calibur 6 do that almost? Like once you keep charged or still charged? No, it wasn't exactly that, but like you got some characters definitely had installs in that game.
Crazy.
But I think that'd be kind of fun. Like, you know, Claudio just like rips off the freaking binding stuff. She's like, oh, it's my arm! Rawr! You know, just some stupid shit.
You know, though, I will say this. You know where I got my mechanic from?
Where?
Tobal 2, that's in Tobal, boys. Tobal 2,
shit.
baby.
Oh, shit.
It's got a universal
Oh,
grappling
shit.
mechanic. You guys got to go play Tobal in Tobal 2 because that game has universal grapples and counter grapples and attacks. It's a great game.
Play UFC. It also has universal grapples
Don't play
and
that.
counter grapples.
Don't play that. Play Tobal instead. Better UFC. Anyway, so I suppose we can kind of get into the last leg of things. And in a segment we've dubbed the War on Emulation.
War.
To where there's been a lot going on with emulation late. Not some good, some bad, but in general,
most bad.
Because you know, fighting games live on. Let's face it, through emulation. And
retro games. Yeah.
Without emulation, a lot of game genres and series would not exist. I mean, genres maybe is a little extreme, but they wouldn't be as well alive as they are today.
No, like I think the fans of games, especially old games, when their consoles fail, are able to keep their love and play of those games on through emulation. You know, it's huge for game preservation.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's why we have spiritual successors to games.
Yep. Yeah.
In fact,
I don't think I would be as into fighting games if I didn't have emulation. I didn't have a Super Nintendo emulator, and you know, I didn't play Fatal Fury or Street Fighter 2.
It's the first way I experienced a lot of those games. Art of Fighting.
I think I'd still be into fighting games because I literally owned Bloody Roar, and that was one of my first like proper forays into fighting games.
I hear you, but I was also like a child and I didn't have any money, so I had to play poverty games. And this was a little before the GameCube come out. Like it might have been out. I don't remember, but it was definitely like N64, PS1. Where it was like a little before the GameCube came out. I didn't actually own. I had a console. I had a Sega Genesis, but I didn't experience a large amount of the genre by then. But emulation helped me. But anyway, so in the news recently, unfortunately, Xbox had gotten rid of all of their emulators. I believe is it on the Xbox store?
Yeah, it's basically the ones on the store. Like any ones on the retail side, I think you can still open up development mode and sideload them. But yeah, I mean, essentially, they don't want none of the smoke from anyone. They're just like, I mean, yeah, they're one of the biggest companies in the world, but they're like, you know what, hands off. We don't want to get involved in that situation. So yeah, I mean, basically, it sucked because apparently the Series X was one of the best emulation box consoles out there. And now, yeah, you can still get the emulators on there, but you have to jump through more hoops to do it. Where we were hoping, you know, emulation would evolve into a more just socially accepted thing that is to happen, you know, thing to be done.
So you've heard it here. There's no reason to buy an Xbox Series S. You've heard it here first. You can rest easy.
Trash.
You can rest easy, guys.
But meanwhile, on the W side,
well, there's
okay, we're gonna still do.
There's the Internet Archive.
Take one more loss. Yep.
There's the
one more
Internet
loss.
Archive. So apparently Internet Archive, and I didn't get a chance to read this, August, so I don't know if you'd be able to carry this one. So Internet Archive lost their case, and I'm assuming it has to do with emulation and game related, or it just means that it could be possibly for emulation.
It's more of the second one. I mean, like Internet Archive, even though it's amazing, it's an amazing idea and tool for the preservation of internet culture and things that governments aren't going to go out of the way to preserve. Individuals don't have the resources to preserve. It was just like something a person with the means put together and be like, yeah, like the internet is going to be where a lot of art history and culture happens, and because no one is going to initially go out of the way to preserve from the start, we'll do that. And it's awesome. It's an amazing resource. If there's an old website you can't find because a lot of them, like the original creator doesn't host it anymore, usually you can still find it in an archive. It's an amazing resource. I've used it many times for a bunch of different projects.
No, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go.
Basically what came down to here, which could start becoming the beginning of the end for Internet Archive, because a case of theirs went to court. Essentially what this case was, it wasn't specifically about gaming. It was more of just the idea of lending and sharing, in that they were hosting, I believe, some books. They were kind of being a little bit of a digital library, or I think they called it like a digital library program. And of course, it was a gray area because, rules especially in the United States where this case happened, libraries are a bit more sticky and a bit more specific, and even actual physical libraries don't like digital lending. So much so, I think there's literally like one big app out there that does it for most of them because they don't want to deal with the legalities of what digital lending looks like or the complications of it.
Google Books.
Because it gets tricky. Essentially what happened was because they were a platform of digital lending, I believe some book publishers sued. And this is like one of the first major cases against Internet Archive to go to court. And unfortunately, they were ruled against. They lost. But I don't know what that's going to mean in the resolution. I don't know what the damages were. I need to actually go back and kind of reread the article. But what this can start meaning is, like any legal precedent, as we're starting to understand how legal precedents work, it's a chink in the armor. It's a crack in the door. I think a lot of behavior. There's one very famous Supreme Court case that we can look to recently that happened as we can look at this, but I think a lot of it is based on standing and kind of faith that no one will test the system in a certain way, or hope no one will test the system in a certain way, or hope that no one would, go through all the rigmarole to test it, because it takes a lot of time and effort in legislation and time in court to build even the meager precedents that we have that don't always cover everything. And with this chink in the armor, the unfortunate fact is probably now that companies that don't like the idea of emulation or hosting emulation, which Internet Archive has many resources of catalog websites that have game ROMs or ISOs on there, can start being like, listen, we want you to pull these down because you are hosting content that was tangentially or of our copyright originally. Now the case is different. Yes, I mean, like, this was more of kind of a direct lending thing versus a hosting something that has that content. But I mean, like, it kind of gets the ball rolling in that direction of potential legislation to be ruled against Internet Archive. Which is one of the reasons
it opens the floodgates for other companies to come along. Oh, I can make some money. I don't want that up there.
Like the Streisand effect.
Yeah.
It basically,
I wouldn't be surprised if multiple other lawsuits start popping up against Internet Archive because that one won. And they're like, oh, we can win too. We can also get money.
Yep.
100%.
People suck.
And there goes one of not only the best resources for just information preservation on the web, but especially games preservation, which is it's super murky and unfortunate already. But because games arrived in the digital age, and because the digital age is where information is both most easily preserved and deleted, and also you never own it, because copyright law has never really caught up to anything being digital yet, unfortunately. Like, if you read in between the lines, you don't even technically own any of your games on Steam. You pay for a license.
Yeah.
And it's gentlemen's agreed that you won't lose them if something bad happens, but really,
You're not screwing me over, right? Okay,
something
cool.
bad could happen, and you could lose the thousands of dollars you spent on Steam if things went your way and the company just decided to do that. In fact, there was a couple cases I think we talked about where companies were like, either changing or trying to do things to files and games people already bought. And that turned into a big stink because it's like, wait, what do you mean this thing I paid for and bought I don't actually own, and you can take it away from me at any time?
Yep.
I think Steam is I think Steam is a decent defender platform of the idea of ownership, but in the digital age, it's not a right anymore, and that's the biggest problem.
Speaking of Steam, the L side of things, actually.
No, the W side of things, right?
I'm sorry. Did I say L? I meant W.
Yeah.
On the W side of things, W side of the war on emulation, Dolphin is now integrated into Steam. And so
I saw that.
Not just Steam.
Not just Steam, but also Discord. So now, as just a thought, so if you start up a match on, like, say you want to play your friend on Dolphin, you can send an invite to somebody via Discord, and they can join your lobby side of Dolphin. So it's actually just made things more convenient. Almost like, playing on PSN, and like,
Yeah.
you're playing Call of Duty, whatever. You want to send your friend an invite. Bam, there you go. You invited your friend. Now you two can play, I don't know, Budokai Tenkaichi 2 on the Nintendo Wii.
Soul Calibur 2 HD.
Soul Calibur
Eventually that complete
Shattered Blade.
Yeah.
Whatever it may be. And so I'm really hoping that other emulators take this that Dolphin is taking, sort of integrated in other applications like Steam, like Discord, and kind of making things more convenient.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's that double-edged sword, is that it's going to bring it more into the spotlight. Whereas, I think like we were safe underground, but as soon as we go into the light, that's where that's where the snipers be.
So Dolphin's a bit different though, because emulation systems themselves aren't illegal. They only become illegal once you start combining them with, like, downloaded ROMs and things like that. Just having like the Dolphin emulation is perfectly legal, as long as you're providing your own BIOS, etc.
Well,
but again, again, it's that gray area.
BIOS.
Yeah, no. Again, it falls into that.
It came straight from my Wii. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Meanwhile, your Wii is like missing its disk drive, and it's like not even plugged in. No, but yeah, essentially, it again, because emulation is becoming more popular, because it's seen as an awesome way to not only play and enjoy old games, but to just have a bigger collection of things you enjoy, especially things that are much harder to access anymore because they were tied to their physical console. It's essentially, it's gonna start bringing this war to it was just a localized conflict. It was just like World War I when the guy shot the other guy and things were just popping off, but America, England wasn't in it yet. You know what I mean? It's gonna start turning into a bigger conflict.
Why'd they have to be Italian?
I don't know, bro. I can't do European accents. It's the only one I got. All
right.
But I apologize.
Oh God.
To the community
Cancel.
already. I'm sorry. But seriously, you will probably start hearing more stories about companies trying to fight emulation in the future. Hopefully not, but it is certainly possible, and it's something I definitely don't want to see. Hopefully the emulation warriors figure it out.
And then lastly, there's one little thing I want to throw in here, and that would be DuckStation now has RollBack netcode. Something I'm really happy about. That means that now you can go and play your whatever PS1 game you have here, and you want to play it with your friend. You're able to hook up with them and play games with like virtually no lag, and it plays pretty buttery smooth. You can play your Street Fighter EX2s, whatever it may be, your rival schools. That is all just amazing in RollBack. I'm excited for it, and I'm trying to get one of these guys over here to play some Duck Station. Duck Station continues to be the best way to play PS1 games on PC, especially if you want to play with your friends who live, whatever, in Washington or wherever they may be.
But it only works if like your friend actually responds to your Discord messages.
It's true. In fact, they have to respond, and they all have to have the same ROM and I believe save file. So as long as you guys can do that, then it should be fine. But again, more really great news in terms of emulation. And don't be surprised if we do a PS1 night here coming in, where we play some RollBack or play some matches. I would love that.
It could happen.
It could happen, possibly. All Quintessence has to do
is respond.
Answer the call.
Hey, as long as we play some of that Crash Team Racing, I am on board, bro.
I mean,
never mind. I'm gonna miss it. I got some other stuff to do.
What did you do?
And
ruined it before. I killed it before it began. But one more thing I will have to say about emulation is, it's not even just good.
Emulation good.
It is the best way a lot of us are able to preserve and celebrate old games, especially on platforms we can't get anymore. In terms of like, if you're one of those like OGs that's like, yo, I got RetroArch, I got all the cores. Bro, like the cool thing about having the individual apps for the emulators is you get all the updates. If they have like cloud save features enabled, which I think some of them talked about wanting you to do, you get that. So it's not just about having like the main core. The actual standalone apps actually do offer some really cool features, which is why they're starting to become a thing that's pushed more and more.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, with RetroArch, I would say that's one of the downsides, that you're pretty much trapped to whatever core RetroArch has. You don't have the latest version of the N64,
Project 64.
You don't have like the good stuff. You're kind of locked into whatever version they're still thing, which could be dated by year. So it's up to like developers to manage multiple cores and systems to be able to, sort of get that modern look and have your N64 games in 1080p, whatever it may be.
Really putting the retro in RetroArch when you're playing Project 64 from 3 years ago.
Yeah, especially with the kind of the 3D cores, it's sort of lacking it. So for me, I'm very much, if it's anything more than 2D, I'm playing that on a standalone. Anything that's 3D,
it just makes sense.
Like even the the GameCube cores are kind of. I'd rather just play a Dolphin emulator at that. Like setting up your controller and going on RetroArch is nice. You don't have to set it up per game, especially with like Fightcade or not Fightcade, but FB Alpha or whatever it may be. But anyway,
I did just want to say, if anyone likes one of the Way stories, which is from like almost a month ago or more, that's also obscure but emulator related, is that I don't know if any OGs really missed iPhone games, but one of the things that was thought to be unemulatable or semi-unemulatable for a while was iOS games, and recently someone just cracked it. So I think the first game they figured out was like Monkey Ball, and then they figured out another game. But I mean, essentially with that, the only way to play old iOS games, like at least up until this year, was like you had to just have a jailbroken Apple phone or iOS phone. And now we have the potential to play some of them on PC. So I don't know if any of you guys are like OG Infinity Blade fans. But that was a really cool motion game that was trapped on iOS that now will potentially get the ability to live on, as I hope some other iOS games do. So like emulation is still a growing field, even for things that were like hella old that you didn't think about, just because it takes time to do the software and engineering to have to crack these things.
Awesome, man. Well,
emulation.
Emulation. Yo, Quint, where can people find you?
Actually, I have one more thing to cover.
God damn it. All right, go on.
That I saw today.
Yeah.
I saw today that they have added microtransactions to the new RE4.
Yeah, but we like Ari, so it's okay.
No, it's not okay. They added weapon upgrade microtransactions after the initial review time was over.
Yeah,
And I think that's the scummiest stuff that I've seen in a while, and I'm not happy.
But we like.
And I just wanted to say, fuck you guys.
Shame on you.
We like new
Yeah.
Capcom, so it's okay.
You
No,
know you
I
listen
mean,
to this.
You
so,
bastards.
Like, me and Matt actually had a long kind of discussion about this earlier, and it didn't quite make the podcast list. But essentially, where I came down on it was like, it's not taking away any of your ability to play the game. Like, it's not affecting your ability to play the game.
Yes.
It's literally just kind of the same idea as like an MMO hyper level upgrade. And even then, it's like, whatever. You get some weapons faster.
But why'd they hide it?
What do you mean they didn't hide it? They just wasn't
They
ready.
hid it.
It just wasn't ready. That's all.
I don't know. It wasn't ready. But
It's crazy that after like the review time is over, suddenly they just drop
it was an accident, bro.
microtransactions.
It was an
They
accident.
just forgot to press the
Whoops,
button,
I got
bro.
microtransactions all over my RE4.
Just happens,
they
dude.
forgot.
Anyways, that was all I wanted to say.
But yeah,
Very
I mean,
upset.
it's not the worst way to do it. They're not like, they're not weaponizing someone's FOMO over a costume or anything like that, like
No.
Fortnite does. It's literally just like, hey, if you want this upgrade weapon faster, you can do it. Do I like it? Nah, but is it like almost the tamest way to do microtransactions? Probably.
So anyway, Quinn,
Adding it later just.
where can
Hey,
people find
people
you?
can find me on Twitch. Twitch.tv/QuintessenceHD. Posting memes on Twitter, QuintessenceHD also. And of course, here on the backlog, bringing you all the fantastic news, interviews, and all that good shit.
Wow. Yo, August,
Indeed.
where can people find you?
Same back time, same back channel, right here in the Backlog Podcast. Eventually, maybe someplace else, but for now, I'm chilling here.
All right, guys. Well, you can find the backlog on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, or of course on Twitch, YouTube, and maybe someday Facebook, but probably not. But until then, guys, this has been the Backlog Podcast number 50. We'll see you soon. Peace out, y'all. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Later.